up, YouTube? It's boy QC, hey Sean.
This is 8, man. We had 7K, man.
Fucking 7K! Oh my fucking god, Granny, man. Let me do one. Let me do one, gang. Yeah, man. What y'all want me to do? Alright. Where you going?
Oh! You hear that shit? Man, we back with another fuck. We back in the studio, man. It's Butter official Ace.
QC, hey Sean, you know what I'm saying?
We have 7K!
7 more motherfucking K! Y'all showing too much love, man. Too much freaking love, man. I really...
It's not too much, but it's perfect.
It ain't?
It's perfect, bro.
Well, to me, man, I feel like y'all showing too much love. We don't get this love in our local community, man.
Yeah, man. They don't support us, man. Y'all do this
man.
crazy. Hey, fuck. We ain't even speak about that.
Yeah.
We back for part 2 of the Most Beautiful Life Goes On, a story of BTS 2021 update, part 2.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying, man? We begin reactions on more stuff. We got more content on the way, but we just
More
got to finish this
content
part
coming
2. We can't be like skipping, you know
We
what
got
I'm saying?
7K.
But we really reached 7K.
We building our own army.
For real, bro.
We're gonna build our own army too.
Y'all
man.
real life showing so much.
What y'all want to name the army? What y'all want to name our army, man?
Ooh.
What y'all want to name our army, huh? Let us know in the comments down. We're gonna pick the best comment.
I'm trying to think of a little name.
We're gonna pick the best. I don't know. We're gonna let them pick. But before this video start, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, turn them noties on. Please watch them ads. We're gonna get into this reaction. Come on, baby.
Let's get it.
All 3 albums were commercial successes, Her being their first album to top 2 million album sales. But Tear and Answer also did equally well. These 3 albums, as well as their Japanese album Face Yourself, proved that they weren't done yet, not even close. During this time, they shattered countless records. Their singles went platinum, they topped charts, they won awards. And not only did they break YouTube records, but they broke records that they themselves set again and again and again. This is the period.
They breaking their own records. Who does that?
Nobody.
Usain Bolt?
Where BTS really started enjoying global recognition, working with huge Western artists such as Nicki Minaj, Designer, and Steve Aoki. It wasn't their first time having international features on their songs, but it was definitely the biggest. And even though they were already, without a doubt, the biggest act to ever come out of South Korea, they had their eyes set even higher. They went on tour once again for the Love Yourself World Tour. During this tour, they collaborated with Steve Aoki to make the song Wasted on Me.
What?
My boy from Hangover.
Hey.
What's his name?
That's the bro from Hangover. What? He sings? Hold on.
It wasn't their first time having international features on their songs, but it was definitely the biggest. And even though they were already, without a doubt, the biggest act to ever come out of South Korea, they had their eyes set even higher. They went on tour once again for the Love Yourself World Tour. During this tour, they collaborated with Steve Aoki to make the
Steve Aoki? What the? Let us know if y'all want to see that Steve Aoki BTS collaboration.
So we're gonna get it for y'all.
Baby.
song Wasted on Me. Notable for being their first all-English feature, and it also served as a jumping-off point for BTS to gain a following of English speakers. Not that they really needed the help, as they sold out concerts even in the US later in the tour, including at Citi Field in Queens, New York, where tickets sold out in 20 minutes. And as if that wasn't enough, they dropped the movie in November, Burn the Stage, which in the US alone grossed $3.54 million in the first weekend, breaking the record set by One Direction's movie, This Is Us. In September, RM had the unique opportunity to speak at the United Nations, where he spoke of anti-violence and self-love. 2 years later, he would be offered to speak on a second occasion about persistence and hope in the face of challenges. And to top it all off, in October, the president of South Korea awarded every member of BTS the 5th class Hwangwon Order of Cultural Merit for outstanding meritorious services in the field of culture and art, which is one of the highest South Korean orders of merit one can receive. And that's no exaggeration. 2019 estimates put BTS's contribution to the South Korean economy to the tune of $4.65 billion
Damn! 4
each year, an equivalent to
a lot of
3%
money.
of the country's GDP. They were the youngest to ever receive the honor. 2019, BTS invited to the Grammys, Time Magazine, Billboard. BTS entered a new era. Not an era of simply global recognition, but global dominance. April 12, 2019, enter Map of the Soul Persona. First things first, you can't mention Map of the Soul Persona without mentioning Boy With Love. It was simple math. What do you get when you cross the singer of one of the best charting songs of all time that went platinum 59 times in 13 different countries with, without a question, the most globally dominant
Big
pop group
time.
of all time? Well, you get this. Nothing less than an instant hit. Number 8 on Billboard Hot 100, platinum in the US, 21 music show wins, number 1 on iTunes in 67 different countries. The most liked and the most viewed YouTube video in the first 24 hours. The fastest video to reach 100 million views. A current view count of over 1 billion views. 7 boys, 1 girl, and 7 different hair colors. They were the talk of the town, invited to talk show after talk show after talk show. The second single on the album was Make It Right.
Wait, so is every member, they all have a different shade of hair?
To celebrate 100,000 MIDI core pack sales, we're giving away a
Sorry about
free
that,
Unison
man.
mini MIDI pack.
They really,
It really popping. That's crazy as shit. You see them numbers?
like, nobody get 100 million in a day.
4.6 billion.
They said that. They said
The
they got the
army is
most likes.
unstoppable.
Man, the
Written
most
by
likes.
Ed Sheeran himself, including a version featuring Loud. The album debuted at number 1 on Gaon and sold 3.2 million copies its first month, and that's only in Korea. It became the best-selling album in South Korea ever. It swept every major Korean music show, winning Album of the Year in each one of them. They followed up this legendary EP with the Love
I wanna be
Yourself,
like
Speak
them one
Yourself
day.
World Tour, where they sold out both
I'm
the
glad I'm
Rose
part of
Bowl
the
and the
army.
Wembley Stadium
But-
in only an hour,
Yeah, for
the
real.
only non-English speaking act to do so. They even performed
Good
as a
road,
solo
man.
act in Saudi Arabia, the first foreign act to do that.
Saudi Arabia.
The last stop of their tour was at South Korea's largest venue, the Seoul Olympic Stadium. They ended up grossing $200 million. During this time, they also created a visual novel style game for mobile devices called BTS World, where the player can interact with the members. This also came with an original soundtrack with tracks unique to the game featuring Western artists. Zara Larsson, Charlie XCX, and Juice WRLD for the tracks A Brand New Day,
Juice WRLD?
Green Glow, and All Night respectively. In this
Y'all got
Juice WRLD x BTS reaction coming real soon. Real soon.
December of 2019, the group swept the grand prizes for both the Melon and Mnet Music Award shows, the first artist to do that. Map of the Soul Persona was legendary, truly a marvel in modern music. So, how could BTS follow up the best-selling album in South Korean history, you may ask? Easy. Make an even better selling album. And that's what they
Exactly.
did with Map of the Soul 7. The album was released on February 21st of 2020, featuring the singles Black Swan and On, and sold over 4.1 million
Sound
albums
good.
in just the first week, and the first
Yeah.
Korean
What
album
the
to be certified as quadruple million on the Gaon Music Chart. It debuted at number 1 on music charts all over the world, including the US, Korea, the UK, Japan, and much of
Worldwide
Europe.
Army.
It's not an exaggeration to say that this album left a permanent mark on the world, launching BTS into legendary status and becoming the best-selling artist in South Korean history. BTS had scheduled a Map of the Soul tour for April of that year, which would have undoubtedly outsold their record-breaking tour only a year prior. But unfortunately, the COVID pandemic caused the entire tour to be postponed, including the show at the Rose Bowl, which I was supposed to attend. But that didn't stop BTS, who performed virtual concerts, spoke at the Dear Class of 2020 graduation event, and released the Japanese version of their recent album with an original Japanese single, Stay Gold. And to top it all off, this was only June. At this point, it was clear that BTS had already dominated their home turf, and they had topped the music charts all over the world. This time, their sight was set for the very top. Remember that scene in The Social Network where Mark and Sean talk about how they don't want $1 million, they want $1 billion, how they're not interested in catching
Exactly. I don't want 1 million. I want 900 billion. Man.
14 trout, but they'd rather catch an 800-pound marlin? Well, that's what they set their sights on. The marlin, the biggest music industry in the world, the United States. And at the top of that music industry, number 1 on Billboard Hot 100. This small group from a company that virtually no one had heard about 8 years ago planned to take on Goliath himself and dominate the American industry
Man,
on
they
their
did. They
home
took
turf.
on Goliath.
And all they had to do was speak English. August 21st, enter Dynamite. Their first English single simultaneously performed better than anyone had expected, but at the same time is exactly what we as an audience had come to expect from the legendary boy band themselves. And they did it. They reached #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, the Global 200, and the Global excluding US chart. And they made sure that if you hadn't heard of them before, you
see, that's what we need to hear, that instead of WAP.
Definitely have now. And if that wasn't already the biggest flex, on October 2nd they came out with Savage Love BTS remix with Jason Derulo, getting #1 on the
That's
Billboard.
them.
Bruh. We're sleep. We in. I'm sorry for being so sleep.
100 again, less than 2 months after already getting it #1 with Dynamite, and on the Global 200 where they actually replaced themselves at #1, the first artist to do so ever. And this is where we stopped in the original video, October of 2020. So what's happened since then? Well, not much. On November 20th, their 5th studio album, B, was released, featuring the hit single Life Goes On. B was met with critical acclaim and hit #1 on Billboard 200 and the World Albums Chart, the 5th BTS album to do so, along with topping worldwide charts in countries like Belgium, Canada, Japan, New Zealand,
BTS
Norway,
got,
Poland, Portugal, and of course, their hometown, South Korea. And in spite of all these accolades, perhaps the biggest winner was Life Goes On. A synth-pop showstopper encouraging its audience to continue living life even in the midst of a global pandemic. The message was clear. Don't give up, life goes on. It hit #1.
Don't ever give up, life goes on, bro. And we see this shit, bro. Look what happened. I mean, it's not crazy, but this is fucking crazy.
People ain't have no motivation.
We just didn't have no motivation. That's crazy.
A week ago, 2 weeks.
One on the Billboard Hot 100, the 3rd BTS song to do so. BTS gave the fans what they wanted with Life Goes On. Life Goes On joined the exclusive club of only 8 songs to ever top the Billboard Hot 100 that were not in English, a title most recently held by Despacito. But it was the first to do it in BTS's native tongue, Korean.
That's crazy.
For Bad Bunny and
We
Tiny,
gonna do it.
Intentions by Justin Bieber and Quavo, Dynamite by BTS, Rain On Me.
The same month, the Academy announced that BTS's Dynamite would be nominated for the Best Pop Duo Group Performance, along with songs by J Balvin, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift. This marked the first time a Korean pop artist was nominated for a Grammy. In December, BTS was invited to sing for Disney's holiday sing-along. And on New Year's Eve, Big Hit put on a New Year's concert where they performed again. Things looked really good for BTS and their Grammy nomination, especially since on March 4th, 2021, the official news came. The International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, or IFPI, announced BTS as the Global Recording Artist of the Year, an award given to the best-selling artist of 2020, period, beating out 9 other prominent Western artists, making them the first artist from Korea, but perhaps more importantly, the first non-English artist to do so. Later that month, the Grammys, the main event that everyone was waiting for, finally arrived. With bated...
That's what I'm talking about, how we really didn't know about them, and I'm glad y'all real life told us to keep reacting, man.
Right.
Y'all show so much love too, and they really like doing better than the majority of these people.
Like they passed Eminem, Drake,
Taylor Swift.
They're legends.
Hit breath, BTS and the world watched. And, well...
And the Grammy goes to Rain On Me, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande.
They didn't win. However, they made history for being the first South Korean artist to perform at the Grammys, after presenting at the Grammys the year prior. March 31st, 2021, Big Hit Entertainment officially rebrands as HYBE and completely revamps their organization, BTS now falls under Big Hit Music, which is now a subsidiary of HYBE Labels, a division of the HYBE Corporation. 2 days later, HYBE acquires Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings. Scooter Braun Projects is a subsidiary of Ithaca Holdings that manages several artists, including Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, J Balvin, Carly Rae Jepsen, Black Eyed Peas, Demi Lovato, and others, which means that those artists are now part of the same family as BTS. Then, at long last, BTS announced their highly anticipated follow-up single to their smash English hit, Dynamite. And that single was Butter. May 21st, 2021.
I think because of y'all.
It didn't disappoint. The retro summer pop hit met immediate success, and on May 26th, the BTS meal launched.
Yeah, the BTS meal at McDonald's.
Yeah, that happened. June
The BTS meal? What the? How long has that been out, bro?
Let us know in the comments.
No, I'm serious. I've been seeing it already. The BTS meal.
I really don't eat McDonald's like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
16th, BTS releases their third Japanese compilation album, known as BTS The Best. It instantly hit #1 on Japan's Oricon chart and sold over 1 million albums, the first and only Korean boy group so far to accomplish this feat. The new Japanese single, Film Out, was released 2 months earlier and debuted at #1 on the Oricon chart. And as an interesting fact, charted at 185 on the Billboard 200 excluding US chart, joining Dynamite and Life Goes On, making BTS the only artist to ever have 3 songs in 3 different languages on the Billboard 200. On July 1st, following an organizational restructuring, the HYBE Corporation announced that Hitman Bang, our same Hitman Bang who got the boys together, resigned as CEO of the company in order to focus on his passion for music production. And while he is still the chairman of the board of directors, he was replaced as CEO by Park Ji-won. On July 7th, BTS became official models for Louis Vuitton as they walked the runway for part of their men's fall-winter 2021 collection.
BTS
they were named as ambassadors only 2 months prior, and then for their teaser trailer, they forgot to put V in the video. And finally, that brings us to July 9th. Permission to Dance, which was released only a few days ago. The hit song, which was written by Ed Sheeran, spreads positive vibes as the world starts to recover from the global pandemic.
Ed Sheeran wrote it.
Its YouTube debut saw 72.3 million views in the first 24 hours, placing itself at number 6 of the top 10 most viewed music videos in the first 24 hours. Out of BTS's past 5 singles, 3 of them have been fully in English. And while this trend has been concerning for some fans who have been wanting more traditional Korean pop songs, there's no denying that BTS has enjoyed global recognition like no other international and particularly non-English group before them. And that itself is a sign of success that can't be ignored. And as a fun fact, there's a line in the song referencing legendary singer-songwriter Elton John.
When it all seems like it's wrong, sing along to Elton John and to that feeling.
He gave the song his personal approval. So what makes BTS so special? How did they achieve all this? K-pop is a genre that spans for at least 30 years, and there have been hundreds of boy groups and hundreds of girl groups. What did BTS do to rise above all of them and break through to markets never before seen? Historically, the boy band industry has been dominated by white English-speaking bands. And the fact that BTS has not only held their own, but blew any sign of competition out of the water on a global scale can be attributed to nothing less than their talent, hard work, and a bit of a 1 in a million miracle. They did it through their own blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak. Around the world, we see that boy bands have pretty much fallen into obscurity, but BTS is thriving. And though I've stated this all before, it's worth saying again, in contrast to other bands who would sing about romantic relationships with girls and what some would call predictable bubblegum pop tunes, BTS is continuously pushing the envelope and changing their styles. According to an article by Vulture.com, they describe this style as much less a successor of the Backstreet Boys and more of the successors of Michael Jackson, whose choreography and charisma were unprecedented. While of course there's a lot of love for the angelic vocals of BTS, rap has also played a
Really, they got the moves so smooth.
I really been wanting to say it, but I ain't want to like.
They said they look up to a couple fans said
I
that.
was gonna say, I thought they really looked up to me.
very important part in creating their own style. In stark contrast to the typical boy band where every member sings, it's so refreshing when you're in the middle of a song and you hear RM's raw rapping skills, J-Hope's energy, or Suga's soul put into every single line. Interestingly enough, at the first glance, it seems that the success of BTS was miraculous, despite not being part of the Big Three, but it can also be argued that their success was because of their separation from the Big Three. Their label, Big Hit Entertainment, whose founder emphasizes artistic freedom more than anything else, allowed them to make their own sound. And going back back to BTS Universe, it's not often that a K-pop group does something special with each of their songs and albums, utilizing strong storytelling that can go beyond simply the song itself, but rather interconnected with other songs and even other albums to create one large overarching story. And not only do they all have their own expertise in performance, but also each of them have had the experience of writing and producing their own music, and they're not afraid to let their style evolve over time. BTS during their debut is such a far cry from Wings era BTS and current day BTS. They also chose to tackle more adult issues instead of simply love and girls. While they definitely didn't have a shortage of those, they also cover other very important issues such as mental health, regret, following your dreams, hard work, self-love, and many, many, many others. Add that to the fact that as fans, we can feel the authenticity of the members themselves. They seem approachable. BTS seems like there's a place for every type of fan. And in this fast-paced world where things change at unthinkable speeds, BTS has stayed grounded and faithful to who they were and who they are. Those kids we saw on American Hustle Life, along with their dreams and passions, are the same men who stand before us today. And while some artists like to keep their personal lives private, BTS gives us a look at their personal lives through their vlogs, which allow us to become more connected to them than ever before. What is truly amazing is that they're doing this all while singing in their native tongue, Korean. Their music holds so much power that it literally breaks through the barriers of language. And no, they're not done yet. They've shown that they're capable of dominating music charts across the world and even reaching across the Pacific Ocean and conquering the music industry in the United States. What's next for them? Mars? In any case, they've only started in 2013 and BTS is as strong as it's ever been. And that's our 2021 update. There's been lots of exciting news for the group so far, and I'm gonna guess that 2021 will still have a lot of surprises waiting for us. Thank you to everyone who watched the original video. We've changed some of the information to make it more accurate or easier to understand. We're always looking to improve our videos, so if you find something that needs improving, leave a comment below. A big shout out to our almost 160,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. And remember, to break your plans, live like you're golden, and roll in like you're dancing fools. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Man, that shit's crazy, bruh. I'm happy we finished part 2, man.
Yeah, I actually that was like a movie. Like I actually enjoy sitting and watching it.
Right, literally like a movie.
We really been just thinking about songs and stuff. We need to learn more about.
Yeah, we read the song. We need to learn more about it. That makes more sense. Yeah.
And it's really interesting, man. Like I've been surprised they didn't. I hear more songs
See the
that
number?
I don't
they
even
made
know.
4.6 or 4.8 billion. Was it or million? It was million.
4. Whoa.
Was it
billion, bro?
Billion.
Billion. Billion.
That's crazy, bro. Who's messing with BTS? They was on top of Eminem.
They got
Drake.
100 million views in a day. They got the most likes on YouTube's in a day. They said they got the most likes on YouTube in a day.
That shit crazy. Keep getting texts and shit, my bad.
I can't wait till I meet them.
For real, we're gonna meet BTS one day, but we really at 7K, man.
I don't understand.
I ain't know what to say.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
I never thought this would ever happen.
We was excited. Like our first couple of days, we was like jumpy excited. I think we got used to it. We gotta calm down because it ain't gonna do nothing but get bigger.
Right.
So
it's gonna keep
but
grinding.
y'all understand, like inside we jumping, like
literally
freaking jumping. Like y'all understand, y'all getting us up. Just 10 days ago, 11 days ago, 2.85K.
Exactly.
We're at 7 now. Because of y'all showing that support and love, man.
Right. Shit's crazy, man. Only more to come, I guess. We're on the road to 10K. Proud to be a part of the Army. Remember, we're going to make our own Army name too. Something Army.
Or
let
help
us
us
know.
out.
Help us out in the comments below. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe. Turn on post notices on, man. It's your boy, the Official Ace.
It's QCA Sean, man.
More reaction videos coming soon.
Love y'all,
man.